Disseminate wherever you are. Glowing seeds of love as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the stars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate wherever you are. Glowing seeds of love as our Master Jesus taught. As our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. Every day is a fresh new start. When the sun turns off the moonlight, we get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise in. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, a new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win. It's always a win in the new round. It's always the wind and the near round. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blessed Menezes, Apostle of the Gold, receive our prayers and also our heart. Blessed Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Source of love that radiates, warm up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades fall down on the mountain, falling the tears of earth, with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because her love is on stage me. The solution lies in our Lord. The solution lies in our Lord. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest a wonderful blessing. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. For Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that comes this door. Your love is the key to change kind of war. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. Hello, brothers and sisters of my heart. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone to spend this time with us talking about the gospel according to Spiritism. To start, I'd like to make some announcements and welcome all of you, incarnated and discarnated, that are here with us. So to begin with, I'd like to start with some announcements, as I said, and we'd like to, first of all, if it's possible, turn off your phone notification. It's going to help a lot. And please find a quiet place if it's possible, so you can absorb more the teachings for that this night. We also want to inform that our meeting is around 30 minutes presentation, 10 minutes questions and answers, and after a spiritual treatment. And this spiritual treatment, it's included magnetized water. So in this case, we ask you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Also, we have one topic that you can follow us through the Facebook, looking for Spiritism Canada. And also you can find us in the Instagram, Path of Light, Spiritism Canada, Path of Light. All those places you can find us. Also in our channel in YouTube, Spiritism Canada too. So to start our meeting, we're gonna invite all of you to be with us in an opening prayer. So in this moment, let's close our eyes, and in this moment, bring Jesus Christ's figure in our mind and say, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here, sharing those moments with brothers and sisters for all over the world.
be with us now and forever. Be it. I'm very happy to be with you tonight again. And tonight we have our brother and friend from London. His name, where is him? Oh, he is here. Lucas Brazil. And he's going to talk about the gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 2, items 4 and 5. And I'd like to introduce our brother. So, Lucas, where are you? Maybe we're having some difficult technical difficulties.
Good evening.
Oh,
Thank you so
please.
much for this opportunity to be here tonight once again, talking about spiritism, about the spiritual life. My name is Lucas Brazil. I am here from London, Ontario, Canada. It's a pleasure once again to be here talking to you. So, on today's lesson, we're gonna talk about the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 2, item number 4, the Kingship of Jesus. We're gonna discuss a little bit further what Jesus was talking about when he mentioned his kingdom, right? What kind of king was Jesus? The same kingdom as we see in the movies, the same king we see in the history books? No, it's actually very different, right? Of course, before we talk about his kingship, we need to mention that some historical points, right? So historically, previous to Jesus coming to this planet, many expected the Jewish Messiah to be a king sent by God who would fight against empires, especially the Roman Empire, who was the strongest one back then, and of course other kingdom and conquer them all, applying on earth a kingdom of glory. That's what they expected, and that meant, of course, if necessary, he would go to war and use violence and politics to free them, the Jewish people. Maybe even using a sword, like right, like violence, as they were saying, or all his power, God's power, to implement that. But opposing the Jewish belief that a powerful and maybe ruthless king would come, came a spiritual, liberating Messiah, simple, humble, and fraternal. They were not expecting that for sure. Who comforted the afflicted and needy. The good news of Jesus brought the greater law of love with a just, good, and also merciful God. They had this idea of a powerful, not merciful at all, God that would send his wrath and punish those against him. But that's not what Jesus was here for. He was actually, he came to teach us the opposite of people were expecting. He wasn't here to fight at all, but to guide us, because, as he explained so many times, his kingdom was not of this world, but instead it was one of a greater spiritual world, his true kingdom. He was talking about, of course, the future life we hear all the time here, right? So let's continue here. Um, Since Spiritism helps us understand that now that his kingdom is not of this world, I ask you to reflect upon this idea. Imagine that, what if he had an earthly kingdom, right? Like just he came here with the sword, with the crown, and he would use all his power to dominate. So, like all others, his kingdom would be temporary, like everything on this ever-changing planet, because we are on an imperfect planet of trials and atonement, changing right now, of course, but it's not even a regeneration planet yet. It's an imperfect world. So a kingship on earth would be temporary and would imply domination And that's the opposite of what he actually wanted, right? Because he was offering us an eternal, perfect kingdom, and most important, accessible to everyone, not only to the rich people, powerful and strong people. No, he was here for the weak, for the poor, for the humble ones, right? To all those in need. He was among those who were not considered good people, like prostitutes, thieves. According to his teaching and his actions, we know that each and every one of us can be part of his kingdom, right? So let's talk about royalty. What is the title of a king, maybe a queen, a prince, right? What is this royalty? This is just a title, right? This a status that implies the exercise of power or dominance over something or someone, right? We have, as you know, right, so many kings that came to this planet and changed so much. They did good things, but sometimes it was the opposite. They killed people. They just wanted power and land and used a lot of violence. They didn't care. They didn't really care about the progress of humankind. That's not what Jesus did, right? He wanted us to progress. He wanted us to all evolve. Um, and we have right now on the next slide, you can see the in this sense, it is stated that we have the king or prince of philosophers, artists, poets, writers. We even have the king of soccer, the prince of pop, the queen of pop music, whatever. So it's just a title. But again, this is temporary. They come and go. They will be forgotten, or maybe only remembered as someone who just conquered a tiny small thing and not always bring again progress to humankind. And we can see in history books constantly forgetting or not caring at all about their subjects, right? We can then proceed and see on the next slide. Let me change here. That his power did not come from a material power, right? But from his ascendancy, greater than any crown. So Jesus' kingship came from his morality, from his examples and teachings. We cannot say the same thing about any other king, at least any king that I know of, right? Uh, his power was the example, like that he brought us. Like no other king, he ruled instead of gold and blood. He was just showing us love, right? He offered us love, forgiveness, humility, compassion, gentleness, self-control, patience, obedience, honesty, and of course, he was showing and teaching us the power of prayer, the way we can connect with our Creator, with the spiritual realm, right? So this is great. Like no other king ever wanted to teach us to serve us like Jesus. So we we can see also that because his power came from his ascendancy from God, it is this ascendancy is imperishable. It means it would never end because it didn't come from earthly vicissitudes, right? But from God's perfection. He brought it for the previous and for all future generations. It's been what over 2,000 years he was here walking on this planet, and still everything he was teaching back then, it is something we still need to learn, right? We are here to learn, and everything he said was true, was perfect. It was here. He was definitely here to make a difference, to change, right? So sovereignty didn't end after his material existence with his discarnation, like all others did. So, isn't he then the most powerful sovereign ever? Right? He's still remembered as the King of Kings. We then proceed here, and I'll talk about the passage when Jesus was being questioned by Pilate, right? The Roman, I think he was a Roman Empire ruler, and in the Israel area, in that area, right? Pilate was asked Jesus, so are you a king? And then Jesus answered smartly, you say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice. So Herod was the king. Rome had an empire, but Jesus was none of that, right? But he was and is more than all of this combined. He's an eternal king. Jesus, he is a king in the cosmos, right? But here on earth, he was just a carpenter, like a poor carpenter. And the reason is he wanted to teach us that morality and elevation is not the same as social position, power, subjugation. Many kings come back to life, and we see that in many spiritist literature. Many kings came back to life again through reincarnation as a simple, simple, maybe poor person to learn about humility, right? I think it's the Gospel according to Spiritism. The next chapters, we will see a message from a queen of France, right? She was a queen, she was powerful. And then after a few reincarnations, she was just a poor person. And like things can change. Like the kingship we have on earth, it's not the same as the one Jesus was talking about. We should be humble because we are here to learn. We can be rich one day, poor the next day, but it doesn't matter how we are living, but how we choose to live, right? He was an eternal king. And his weapons, as we might say, they were not swords and spears or shields, but charity, right? We see here that the true meaning of the word charity that Jesus brought to us. So charity and benevolence toward everyone, indulgence toward imperfections of others, and forgiveness of offenses. So he taught us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. He said we should use, again, benevolence toward everyone, indulgence toward imperfection of others, and forgive all the offenses. Matthew wrote here, you have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. So he was teaching the opposite. Other people were teaching them, like, if it was your enemy, you should kill, you should hate. But that's not what we should be doing. Like, if somebody is our enemy right now, we need to pray for them. We need to maybe try to change this situation so they can become our friends. We are all spiritual brothers and sisters, and we're meant to be together one day, everyone sharing the universe. So it is easy to love those who are who love you, who treat you well, who want to be around you, who are nice to you. That's so easy, right? Who doesn't like people who like you. It is hard, on the other hand, to love those who don't treat you well, those who don't want you to be safe or want to cause you any harm. And that's why we need to put a little bit more effort into this activity, right? We should pray for them, try to be their friend, try to help, so things will be easier for them and for us. And then next slide here. Allan Kardec asked in the Book of Spirits, I think question was 625, about who was the perfect role model and guide for humankind, right? What is the perfect standard that God has offered to humankind as guide and model? Guess what? The answer was the spirits answered promptly. They said, look at Jesus. A simple but precise answer. Jesus is everything we need. He is the perfect example. Everything he said, everything he did was precise, was pure, was true. So he is the best example we have, the best role model. Kardec then, here on the next slide, complemented and explained. He said, Jesus is the highest standard of moral perfection to which humankind may aspire on earth. God offers him as the most perfect model, and the doctrine he taught is the purest expression of God's law, because he was animated by the divine spirit and was the purest being that has ever walked the earth. So, yeah, he was perfect. He was the most developed being to walk on earth. We know he prepared, and his heralds, they prepared his coming for 1,000 years, because he knew it would be hard, but he knew he would have to come to bring us this message. Okay, then to sum it up, Jesus said here something very important. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you must be the slave of everyone else. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So he was here as a universal king, right? He was more powerful, he had more knowledge than everyone else. But still, he was just a carpenter, he was humble. He served people, he helped people, right? He wasn't here to be served, to make slaves, to conquer everything. He could have easily done it, but that's not what he was here for. And that's not what he wants us to do. If we have any power, if we're ever something close to a king, we are here to serve. We are here to help others, to help our planet, to help humankind. And then that's how we evolve, right? By making everything better, not by being served, not by taking advantage of other people, right? Of others and having them serving us, right? Jesus, there's a passage, he was washing people's feet, right? Just that's what he was trying to explain, that he was the Son of God, the Messiah, but he was serving, right? He was a servant. He said he was here to teach us, to help us. And then also to finalize, he left another important message. He said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.
The true light now shineth. This is the promise that he hath promised us, even eternal life.
Mary.
For we beheld his glory, Because of him, we all shall live again.
So he was here to guide us and to take the darkness away, right? He shows us the way to our Father's kingdom, right? And that's the kingdom we mention when we say the prayer he taught us when we pray, Thy kingdom come. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much once again for this opportunity. I hope these words bring you some peace, some reflection, and of course, may God bless us all. Have yourself a great rest of your night. And if you have any questions, if you need anything else, just let us know. We'll be very happy to assist. We'll be here with you. Thank you. See you soon.
Wow. What a beautiful words Lucas brought to us tonight. And now we have a small moment with Veronica. We have some questions, some points that we'd like to talk about. So, Veronica, welcome.
We have Lucas here to
So, welcome, Lucas.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I was telling you how important, how clear was the speech tonight, and you brought us. But I still want to explore a little bit more of you.
Sure, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
Because like the Hebrews was waiting for a king with power to fight, to put the nation on top of everybody. And Jesus came with nothing that they were expecting. Well, can you just talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, for sure. So he was actually the opposite people were waiting for back then, because I believe they thought it would be easier, of course, to change things at the time by using the force violence, but that would only happen at the time, right? And wouldn't last long. What Jesus did, he brought us something that we have been using for over 2,000 years, right? Which is the knowledge, which is the teachings that can help us transform not only our present time, but our all our existence says forever, right? It's a way to change ourselves internally, not only the outside. People were expecting and thinking he could free the Jewish people from the Roman Empire and other empires they were always conquering. That's not what happened, we know. But he brought us so much more, right? He freed not only the Jewish people, but everyone on this planet. So that's what was his mission. He prepared for over 1,000 years to come here and change not only a specific place, guide a specific people, but to help everyone.
and it's interesting also because it is kind of understandable, right? That people would be expecting a hero, somebody, someone very powerful physically, that he was forced to get to free people, right? The Jews, because it's very close to what we know, right? Our materialistic lives and our earthly needs. And it's beautiful because Jesus had to come in that situation, right? A poor, simple, with no titles, right? No, not being famous, really to give you the example that that's what we should be seeking in our lives.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. He was actually, he is more powerful. He could have done anything he wanted, but he wanted us to learn a lesson, right? Otherwise, things would just change temporarily. We would never understand what's the real meaning of power, of love, everything he was trying to teach us.
We have one question here from Marceli. Why Jesus said that his kingship, his kingdom, it was not from this world?
Oh, great
Like,
question.
good question. So tell me something.
Yeah. So Marcelo, the reason is because he wanted to show us that this planet, this existence, it's temporary. It's something that won't would not last long. Maybe for one, two, three, a few existences. This is a place we are to learn, and there is so much more. As he mentioned, there are so many. He mentioned there are so many mentions in my father's home, the universe, right? There, we are not alone here. We're just one planet. There are billions of planets with material lives everywhere. But also, and most important, he was trying to explain that there is something else. There is the other dimension, the afterlife, the spiritual realm, of course, and that's greater than everything we know than this material existence. So his kingdom is not here. It's not on this planet. It's not on another planet. It's the universe. It's the spiritual universe, the other dimension. We just think we know a little bit about it.
I have one more point, Lucas. Thank you for the answer. Very,
You're
very
welcome.
clear the answer. Yeah, I would like to compare. You know, when we think of power that the Jews was waiting for, and we see love, but love is a very powerful like an instrument to change everything. So how the doctrine and Spiritians see this power of love, and because like the love is eternal power, but the temporary power, like I'm a king of a rock, like you said, I'm a king of the football. This is temporary. So tell me like the difference, these different powers, that because most of us we're living now. I need the things for now. We don't think about the future, a future life, like just said now. So talk something about this.
Yeah, we just want to live the moment, right? And everything comes and goes. Titles, they expire. We lose titles. Like a king dies, and there's another king. There's another queen. Maybe there won't even be a queen or a king, like we know. But just for example, we know like the United Kingdom, they have a queen right now, right? A lot of countries are talking about not having or accepting the English queen as their governor. So things change on this planet. It's always evolving, right? On Earth. But when we talk about God and its power, that's eternal. That's something that will never change. His love, Jesus' teachings, and His love will last forever. So that's something that can and will always change everything. Love, and that's something that not only changes but makes us understand and gives us the power to change as well, right? So that makes us in this sense more powerful because we can make the change, right? And we can make the right change. It's not only imposing something through the force or right, trying to make somebody do something because we want to, because we have the opportunity to do so, but because when we love, when we show that, we make everyone understand, we make them feel good about what they're doing. So that's the Jesus messages, right? He was trying to teach us that we can as well do everything he did. We can change the world, we can change ourselves, and we of course can help our neighbors and transform everything like he did.
Yeah, it tells us also what is important in our present life, right?
Right.
Because it's not seeking for prestige on earth, or being famous, or accumulating money, or things, but
Yeah,
accumulating love, right? The relationships we establish, right? The friendship we make, because this will be able to take to Jesus' kingdom, right? To the real
exactly.
kingdom. So it is a lesson for us, right, to think in our daily lives of where we are prioritizing, where our priorities are. And it helps us also when we have a struggle, sometimes material or physical, right? When we have a difficulty, to also remember that that's temporary,
Correct.
right? The good and the bad is temporary, right? So there is a saying, right? That is, I think, is a Iranian saying that if you have what is a truth, right? So good things and bad things, they pass on, right? So they are
Correct.
not eternal. But
But they make
what,
us learn, right? They make us
for
learn so
sure,
much.
for sure, yeah.
We'd like to say thank you very, very much, Lucas, and
Oh, you're
was
very welcome.
very, very clear, very wisdom, those words that you brought us, and talk about this real power, that's love, that doesn't belong to me or belong to her or belong to anybody, but belong to everybody. So like you said, the power of love can change everything, and everybody can use this power to make the change. So many people, philosophers, singers, writers wrote these, like, I can use this power to change. But you said the word that intrigues me, because I want to change the world. So I have to change myself first, right? So this is very, very important. And I'd like to say thank you very much to bring us all those reflections. And if you want to say any word.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here to talk more about Spiritism. Of course, sharing the teachings of Jesus is fantastic, right? It's the best thing we can do. Share the word, spread his teachings. Again, if you need me, I'm always available. It'll be always a pleasure, and it's a great experience, right? Because it makes us reflect as well. Because it is something we know, but it's something we forget, right? So it's always good to be reminded, and it's a pleasure to talk about it.
Thank
And
you, Lucas.
You're welcome.
thank you. And for sure, we're gonna invite you many, many times to come back. And thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful
Awesome.
night.
You're welcome.
And now we're gonna start another time in our meeting. So we're gonna go to the spiritual treatment, and what it means. What spiritual treatment means? It composed with pass. That's a transfusion of spiritual energy, assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. We also, to benefit from the spiritual treatment, please follow the guide audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with the mentalization. So we're gonna use the magnetized water. What it means? Magnetized water is healing. It's receive the healing energies from our body and soul, which your family and you can be benefit from. So let's start the second part. And for this, I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna do a prayer. So let's close your eyes again. Find a place comfortable and say thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be here, sharing those moments about the gospel according to Spiritism, the gospel of Jesus. Allow the good spirits to be with us these moments, and the power of the love be with us now and forever.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
We'd like to say thank you to everyone that came and shared with us these moments. And now we're going to do a closing prayer and finalize our meeting tonight. So, one more time, let's close our eyes, thinking about Jesus Christ, His love for us, His teachings, and say thank you for the opportunity to be here, incarnated. Thank you, Sir Lord, for the opportunity for living in this planet, in these moments so hard, so difficult. But we know that we are not alone. We have your teachings, we have your word that prepare us for living those moments. I'd like to say thank you for the night and be with us during the week. Thank you today and forever. God bless us.
Come on, my friend, come to the light. Here with all our heart and soul, let's follow Jesus Christ. Let us preach the peace, let us preach the love. And this world already wonderful will be much more. Get up, look at the sky, in the earth where the flowers bloom with sunshine. Let's hold our hands and be together on this road. Then we take peace and love and spread it to the world. Good vibes, laughter and shout outs, show it to the world. Always follow the